All right, coming in for game one of Flying Blobos versus Starbreakers. Notable, actually, last week, Flying Blobos did have a pretty big upset versus Atlas's diversified resume. So we'll see if they can carry that momentum off into this first game in Atlas's lab.
Yes. So we're seeing glass cannon as well as build different start, and from the build different start, both brawlers took nice sizable brawlers, and we'll see how that comes into play as we see both teams take a barrier each. Sad Boy's angle comes out from the start. Pensando pushing in with that Juno with the eject button, and with the glass cannon, it can be really, really scary if just Logan on the Rasmus doesn't keep him in check. Jay looking a little low here as she is wiggling, getting the orb now. J-Man also getting their orb, and another Sad Boys angle coming out here on this bright fine day. Double Sad Boys angle from one from each of the teams as the black hole opens. Zyre trying to rotate it through, but he is looking at dangerously low, and Jay gets him off the field. There he goes. Goodbye, Zyre. And now it's a power play on the side of Stab here as they Starbreakers. There we go. As Rasmus just Logan, again once again continuing the pressure. This time on the side of Starbreakers as they look to pull Pensando out of the way, and Dave with the core flip gets the supernova in, and now he can use that core flip to pressure continuously. J-Man looking dangerously low. This is the only core flip on the side of Stab, and they have to use it early, and Jay gets to clear. Zyre and Dave pushing through the bottom side of Atlas Lab now. Pensando on defense as he's trying to save J-Man, giving him a little bit more room to breathe. Estelle is all healed up now. And Pensando using the Blavos to clear as Rasmus just Logan looking to get the core round in with the pendulum swing is dodged, but this is Rasmus with energy now, doesn't need it. Takes a momentary move down from Pensando, nails the goal.
Yeah, and one thing that's worth considering, as we saw at that point on that scoring attempt from just Logan, is that while both brawlers do have size awakenings, one benefits a little more than the other. Rasmus is notably stronger with size than Zentaro is, as strong as Zentaro can be on his own. So we might actually see that kind of shape itself up in this game, the way these drafts play out, as Rasmus might want to stack more, or Zentaro might want to deny them. And the way it's been shaping up right now is that Rasmus is getting a lot of value out of that build difference. Even just the impact damage, we're seeing it get these kills on Zentaro. Just that 5% is enough sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, Zyre had to burn his, I believe it was a core flip even on Dave Supernova, and just Logan comboing it up perfectly onto Wounded Zyre. And yeah, power play happening for Stab, but they weren't able to get the most out of it, I guess, because Zyre is back, and now they're playing aggressively through Dave. And now J-Man and Pensando even pushing up aggressively with that eject button, forcing Dave to use that supernova defensively. And Jay couldn't hold getting through Dave as well. J-Man, nice beam from SL.
Yeah, not much you can do there when Flying Blabos run such potent offense, putting it in the corner, isolating it, getting Zentaro dash passive, Estelle primary to back it up. It's very, very strong offense that the Flying Blabos have found themselves in a position to run. And once they get in that spot, there's not much you can do from there. So a lot of this game might be playing around those sort of checkmate situations, as long as Flying Blabos can consistently set them up.
Yeah, I mean, Flying Blabos, one thing I'm seeing is that, Zyre is kept low. He doesn't want to be on this side of the field. He wants to be on the other side of the field, making damage happen. Uses his special now, the Zyre, and Zentaro passive as well. J-Man, great secondary, but now it's a dangerously low Zentaro getting hit by the Supernova, and Jay uses the flip. She kills Zyre, gets him off the field. And just Logan looking a little laggy, but still in position for stuff, and gets the second barrier, does Jay. And now Rasmus just waiting for his pendulum swing, potentially. If Pensando jumps in, though, and gets the core out of danger zone. Rasmus back in, back with the ping, and he's dodging. That was a dangerous snipe by Estelle. Fortunately, Jay does live, and Rasmus can kind of 1v2 Pensando and J-Man here. Yeah, Pensando clears though, and now Black Hole coming in. Jay really wants an orb to pop on this overtime. He wants to help just Logan secure some kills, and Zyre getting Jay off the field and takes the orb now, and it's Dave all on his lonesome. Rasmus trying to do some stuff, but just Logan is teleporting across the field as Dave needs to hold again. And Zyre gets the core, nice redirect with his Zentaro passive, gets the lower barrier, and now Flying Blobos have a chance to get ahead. 2-1 Flying Blobos.
Yeah, Logan's internet issues, they've been showing themselves since the very start of the game, but in that point particularly, they really, really showed their consequence. It might even be getting worse for him, frankly. The way it's been working out, he's name off, he's lagging out, he's not really having the best of games right now. It's a little unfortunate, but he has been running some potent offense despite it, honestly. He's getting barriers, he's taking goals, so even despite this internet connection issue, he's honestly still getting it done.
Yeah, just Logan with the core flip now and taking first barrier with his death touch combo. Really nice coming in, pressuring Pensando all the time. He has core flip, he just really wants to get it. He uses it a little bit early to get the core on an aggressive position. And yeah, just looking a little rough for just Logan has standstill. But Jay and Dave, more than a match right now for Zyray's offense as they clear the core, take the second barrier, and it's very offensive plays coming out from Dave, who was dangerously low, playing with fire here. Zyray using the Centauro special, trying to get the core in, trying to take this second barrier. Dave holds once again. Jay looking low, Dave looking low, but they are still putting on pressure. Zyray with the flip, though, he could make something happen. Dave Supernova coming out. Unfortunately, not the best time to use it, I think. Jay circling back. The Blobbo eats the core flip, and the barrier holds once more for Starbreakers. They really want to buy some time for themselves, for anything, for just Logan to load back in, for Jay to
Oh no!
step on offense. Yeah, dangerous plays coming in. Zyray, even with no energy, dashes in, gets the lower barrier. It's a dangerous situation for Dave, but he can hold with the help of Jay and Just Logan. Just Logan coming in from the bottom, ready to make sure to clear happens, takes the orb. Jay coming in from the top with Dave. Wins strike order against the Blobbo, but Pensando is there for a second time to make sure that doesn't happen. And now a nice Giga coming in from Jay, but unfortunately the redirects from Atlas Lab, the black holes, that Zyray gets the core in.
What an unfortunate angle for that Giga Blast to send the core right into Zyray's hands very quickly with that overtime core speed buff, sending it up perfectly for a very clean top pocket shot there. And honestly, if you're Starbreakers, you just have to disregard that and go next. Looking at this draft, there are quite a few important pickups here. There is the Spark of Strength and Leadership. If you want to opt into Sparks now, you will have to disregard one of them, but Strength is strong enough on its own that it might actually be worth it, especially because there's some trainings here that not every player really wants, like Might of the Colossus. That's denied away from Rasmus by Pensando here because he's aware of what could happen if Just Logan 2 gets that Might. He gets Stinger instead, which is strong on its own. However, it's a relatively low impact draft for both teams. I think the largest highlight here would be Zyray getting that double size awakening, and J-Man getting a dash range with the aerials and projectile increase. I'm pretty sure as a low impact draft, Flying Bloodless came out on top.
Yeah, I mean, Zyray is almost matching the Rasmus in height. This is a small kid matching a grown man. So very huge Zyray. He is making that offense happen as he takes that top barrier now with the help of J-Man and Pensando rotating the core around, and that Blobbo seals the deal here. And now open net for Dave, and the core goes in the top. Zyray gets the score. Zyray gets a shot.
Yeah, and it's just the size awakenings here. They're covering so much space just by existing. That point really showed itself there. That Zyray was just in the right spots, and he's so large that he's able to cover all of the area he needs to at once. And it's kind of difficult for Vice to be able to deal with that. She only has her primary to really effectively burst option deal with such a large Zentaro interface.
Yeah, huge Centauro special coming out. Jay had to fall back, and she needed to take that orb. And now she is back on offense, trying to help Just Logan to get the thing. Great Death's Touch coming out. Unfortunately, it was intercepted, and great Pendulum Swing coming out. I mean, yeah, Just Logan 2, he might be having some internet issues, but he's really making everything happen that Starbreakers need to have happened. And then this is them on the lower corner, making sure the core can get out, even get Zyray's core flip. And Jay's barrage was dangerous, but Pensando and J-Man get it out. Nice jump from the Juno as Rasmus, he wants that core flip energy. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit before he can get it, and potentially might be too late because J-Man now, Estelle, is lurking up top with the core flip and doesn't even need it, uses the Crystal Thorns and the Beam to get it in past Dave.
Yeah, maybe miscoordination from Starbreakers there, playing it right back into the Vice ult, instead of going for the outwards clear there, setting it up for J-Man having a very difficult to save Estelle offense there. And the way it's playing out, honestly, Flying Bloodless feels like they have so much momentum. Starbreakers are getting barriers this game. They're getting the barriers for sure, but in the open net situations, it's where Pensando really seems like he's flourishing. With the Juno jump, with that eject button glass cannon, he has so much speed to work with, and it feels like you just can't get around him or through him.
Yeah, I mean, Just Logan 2 hit a nasty angle with his core flip, but yeah, Pensando even clearing even those, and now Just Logan 2 on the back foot, no energy, no stagger. The black hole really pulling him in, but he gets out somehow. A little bit of a Time Paradox. Pensando jumping in with the core flip with the Juno. He can play aggressively as he wants. And Jay trying to cover all the angles possible with the barrage, trying to slow it down, trying to buy time for Just Logan to get back in. What a wonderful Giga, but J-Man is there, falling back to save the barrier as well. And yeah, Starbreakers now with all three back, they can probably try to make a play happen. Never mind. But
Yeah,
Dave and Jay holding the lower barrier. They're splitting the goal, but unfortunately Zyre pushing through with his slice and dice, and that's two set up from Flying Blobos.
Very bad if Logan still isn't back, because now he has to draft right now, and if he's not having the game open, if he's not able to pick this Awakening, he could be left with something very, very low power. So this could be a massive issue for them drafting here. Flying Blobos do have a very strong draft going in here. Fight or Flight on their midfielder, you can't deny from Zentaro here. He gets anything he wants. The supers are just taken, but he still gets something like, yeah, leaving open the 1-2 punch to force a deny from Juno here. And Kai is forced to take something that isn't stacks on stacks. That's awful for him. And here it is. Rasmus is still here, able to pick up a prize fighter. That's his best option. But the way it is, Flying Blobos just drafted triple damage, which seems potent. However, Flying Blobos here, Starbreakers drafted triple damage, but Flying Blobos have so much movement speed from this draft and a Reptile Remedy on Zentaro. So even despite that Vice knockback, the recovery drone is able to tank it, and it might be very hard to kill this team.
Yeah, I mean, like, their Starbreakers are using their damage to good use. They're making Flying Blobos kind of rotate around, but they've actually come out ahead once the dust settles, taking 2 barriers, 2-1, and never mind because J-Man uses the beam, takes the second barrier now, and it's Jay trying to, a little bit low on stagger, trying to opens up the goal, and it goes in right between.
Pensando dribbling with the blob there, very wise placement with the strike there, redirecting it to set Zyre up for a perfect open shot onto Dave, threading the needle. Very well played from Flying Blobos.
And Starbreakers, once again, they are taking barriers. I mean, Dave is holding really well with a Supernova. I think as well as a Vice can be against... Oh, but the snipe from J-Man taking Jay off the field. She's going to be gone for another 10 seconds, and J-Man contests the Supernova as well, and just back and forth pass plays, forcing Dave to use his core flip. And J-Man and Dave trying to kind of sync up here. Unfortunate situation, but oh, the pass coming in. And yeah, Zyre winning the strike war against Dave, and it's match point already for Flying Blobos.
Yeah, they're just getting overwhelmed. And really the part of it is that Vice is a inherently snowbally character without a eject button pickup. And if you don't have possession, if you don't have these offenses that you can convert because your brawler is lagging out like this, the pick will inherently not get that value that it's supposed to. So the game is becoming pretty difficult for Starbreakers, and a lot of that is admittedly because of the internet issues that Just Logan is facing right now. He's not really able to get that impact that he normally is able to have on the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely scary how much impact that Just Logan had even with his internet issues. So hopefully we can see something, a little better situation come out of him next game. But as it is, J-Man just forcing through and Zyre. Oh, even then the death touch there from Just Logan, intercepting the core, forcing Zyre's hand. And yeah, and they hold once more, and Dave making aggressive plays with the eject button, and Jay kind of sitting back, keeping house, making sure everything's good and tidy at home. But unfortunately, the barrier play does not happen on the side of Starbreakers. They still have one barrier to chew through, and Pensando making sure that that does not happen with the wonderful Juno jumps, honestly. And Jay has to defend there, and the chain lightning coming out, not enough to hit the core though. It's a great first point of the series for Flying Blobos.
Yeah, Flying Blobos is taking a very, very convincing game 1. They might snowball this into a game 2 with the momentum that they have. I can't imagine it's very calming for Starbreakers to have this kind of game played in such a circumstance with your brawler. But if Logan can fix his internet, they might find this shift in momentum here, and if they do, I think this series might actually be able to even out.
Hello, and I'm here with Gret as we cast Game 2 of Starbreakers and Flying Blobos, as Flying Blobos looks to take their second win of NASA, and Starbreakers look to take their first, but they are on a 0-1 deficit for the series, so they have an uphill battle to climb as Young Kirby is subbed in for Just Logan. And we're seeing an Among Us start. Everybody took it, all 6 people took it, so we will see Castellas come out again somewhere in the draft. But yeah, for now, it looks like we're seeing Starbreakers take a quick first barrier on the Atlas Slab variant of Clarion Test Chamber. Hey, Gret, how are you looking at these comps right now?
Well, one thing I'm noticing, because of the Among Titans start, Flying Blubba seems to have drafted a comp especially around it, with the Era, the Juliet, and the Kai opting into that speed and core control. But Starbreakers, on the other hand, are playing a very, very damaging comp. The Flying Blubbas don't have much damage going on. The Starbreakers have that Drakkar, the Finny, and the Juno, all three very damaging characters. So we'll kind of see a bit of a dichotomy going on here, the damage versus the core control, in its most pure sense. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, Zaire with a nice dash punch through Dave's big finish, and he has energy for another offense here, and maybe Starbreaker can beat it out of him. We'll see. Dave does win the Smite War here on the Era variant, and we're seeing Zaire use his flip, gets the barrier despite a whipped flip, and now big finish coming out. Zaire did use his dash punch here, so it's Juliet running on an empty tank for now as Jay sets up the Blobbo running through, and J-Man trying to push it through with the barrage, but Dave using the secondary even clears the core. Great defense coming out from Starbreakers as the offense now is on their side. But Jay misses the core, unfortunately, in the middle, and now Young Kirby gets the variant this time, and a nice shotgun. J-Man stood no chance as he was gunned down, unfortunately, off the field. Going to be another few before we can see him. Zaire has to spend the fists and to defend, and Young Kirby trying to get any value off the power play. Jay does have core flip now, but unfortunately J-Man is back. Oh, nice flip to kill Zaire though, and the power play is continued on the side of Starbreakers. Young Kirby running around with the speed, gets the core around Pensando. Open barrier now for Starbreakers. J-Man wins the Smite War this time though, and Young Kirby shotgunning, but but the Blobbo holds and Pensando clears. And Zaire coming in now. Jay, nice kick, nice primary onto Zaire, but no matter, the redirect was too big. Oh, the goal gates were still opening though, so unfortunately the goal does not go in for Flying Blobbos. And Jay's trying to rotate the core around with the help of Young Kirby, but Pensando was a little too quick to get control yet, and Zaire almost kicking Young Kirby off the field. Jay, a great pass, self-pass to herself, but unfortunately does not lead to a goal here, but definitely really good first set coming out from Starbreaker so far. J-Man using the flip, but Jay there to counteract it with the dash, giving up a little bit ground, respecting Zaire's dash punch here, and now it's Dave and Jay again trying to get the core past J-Man, and this time he survives Young Kirby's onslaught, and Young Kirby walks into a wrong way, and Zaire redirects the core past Dave. 2-0 lead for Flying Blobbos.
Strong aiming on the Giga Blast there, aiming for the wall rather than to kill, because that would send it directly upwards into Zaire, who is on this Juliet, a very, very strong pick, almost a signature, some would say. And it was banned from him last game, but this game instead they opted to let him have it for that Juno goalie, or the Juno midfield pick, denying from Pensando here. We're going to see how it plays out, but for now, seeing Zaire just move, seeing him in motion right now, he's really controlling the lobby, I feel like. Despite that damage coming through, Flying Blobbos were almost at a deficit for a lot of the point, but they still were able to take it. J-Man finding the barrier with the Giga Blast, and Zaire is running some potent offense here. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, Zaire brought low, but not dead, and that makes all the difference as Jay's Blobbo missed, and yeah, Zaire still making stuff happen, falling back, getting the orb. I mean, Julie is still so quick, especially with the Amon Titans pickup here at the starting Awakening, and now Dave and Jay trying to build up some offense here, but the Blobbo slightly off angle, and now J-Man barrages it through.
Yeah, good coverage, very convincing offense. The set was kind of even until that last point. There were many, many chances for Starbreakers to score, all very narrowly saved by Pensando, but it ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a 3-0 win for them. As they're going into this draft, there are a lot of very important Awakenings to look for, but I think that Prime Time is one of the biggest ones. You don't want Juno to have that. J-Man denying it promptly. However, that does mean Juno gets a Reptile Remedy. That can scale pretty well with a lot of other Awakenings. Julie gets that Glass Cannon to deny Finny, but now they have 2 picks in a row to get whatever they want. A Stinger and a Spark of Focus coming in. That is a lot of extra damage pressure. The Stagger Awakening, too, was completely denied. So, the survivability will be a lot harder for Flying Blobbos to find this game.
Yeah, I mean, Zaire taking Glass Cannon, it was obviously a deny from the Finny, but against a comp that wants to kind of continuously do damage to him, it might not be as much value as to himself, but a great dash punch taking off Young Kirby off the field now, and Jay and Dave have to play on the defense here because power play for Flying Blobbos. Jay doing a wonderful control in the bottom left corner there, guarding the second barrier, but this time right before Young Kirby comes back, J-Man takes advantage of that gap, and oh, another dash punch coming in, almost taking off Young Kirby again, but Young Kirby dodges this time. dodges the energy burst from Zyre as well. Yin Kirby has to retreat, running around, playing a second game of Omega Strikers here with Zyre on the other side of the field as Pensando and J-Man put pressure on Jay and Dave. And they're holding, once again, great defense from Starbreakers, but they need to culminate that into an offense to really get the ball going in their favor. Dave does have his secondary, pushing it to Yin Kirby. Unfortunately, loses the barrage to Yin Kirby, and Dave using his flip to get it around, but Zyre still holds that area, that row, and now it's Zyre, Pensando backing up, and the barrage is all it takes.
Yeah, standout performance from J-Man at that point, being chased down by Yin Kirby almost the entire time, a game of cat and mouse, but he eventually did actually survive completely, and then got the ball past Yin Kirby in a moment it was most required, and was able to convert that very offense that he created into his own goal with the barrage. Very well played from him. I think he's definitely standout there.
On the other side of the field, Jay's Blobbo's putting in work as she dodges Zyre's kicks and punches, but still makes the barrier take happen with Yin Kirby. But now Pensando rushing in with the Era dash, and Era can be so quick, especially with that Mom Boots pickup. And we're seeing J-Man control the core around Jay and Pensando. Every time Jay spends her secondary, J-Man using it to get around the offense that Starbreakers is putting on. And now J-Man and Pensando both have energy. J-Man just constantly everywhere across the field and narrowly avoiding a barrier take that Pensando happened there. But now Yin Kirby with the flip, can he make something happen? Using the flip, unfortunately, does not happen. Using the shotgun on J-Man, and now J-Man is low stagger, no energy, but Zyre might be able to cover with this core control. He has a lot of speed going on as well, and one dash punch might be all it takes to tip the scales in the favor of the flying Blobbos as J-Man heals up in the other side of the field, and now it's Yin Kirby with low energy and low stagger. Dodges the barrage from J-Man though, which is really good, and now turns the table, Matadors J-Man across, and now it's power play, albeit a little bit slim on the side of Starbreakers because Yin Kirby has to play a little bit more conservatively to avoid being taken off the map by Zyre. Now core once again towards Yin Kirby. Yin Kirby, it's a little bit awkward for him. He doesn't want to be there necessarily, and gets Giga Blasted off across from downtown. Nice snipe from J-Man. And Jay playing really good core control, trying to buy time for her teammates now. Dave unfortunately misses the core flip here, trying to do defense. Unfortunately slips right between the cracks of the Finny secondary now. And a great Blobbo snipe coming in from Jay, making Starbreakers last a little bit longer. As they have the power play this time. It's a little more solid power play. Yin Kirby dribbling through. Nice, gets it around Pensando, gets the second barrier. Open goal for Starbreakers. Now they just need to find a shotgun. They just need to find a core flip. They just need to find something. And there we go. That's a core flip, but held by Pensando. And now J-Man coming in, dashing in with the Kai, the speed. But Yin Kirby also unafraid to wage wars here against Zyre and dash punch. But yeah, core held a little bit slow. We're seeing a lot of jockeying for position in the middle, trying to get a setup going on here. But Starbreakers making this point last quite a bit here, as we're seeing some kind of offense mount as J-Man gets the energy. Pensando has to spend his, and now the Finny secondary slightly slowing down the offense. But Zyre gets a great angle, threads it in. 2-0 now for Flying Blobos.
A clean pass from J-Man at the very end of that point, and we're really seeing the strength of the Aragoli here. She's very similar to Vice in the way that she kind of amplifies your possession. She turns a not losing game into a won game. And because Flying Blobos have such good possession this game, with J-Man and Zyre playing this ball for a long time rather than going for quick scoring attempts, Era's able to find these... Oh, random kill off the bumper. Era's able to find these walking up attempts, able to really push this advantage. And this point, it's not really looking like it's working out, even despite that 3v2. We'll have to see how it ends up.
Yeah, I mean, the bumper giveth, bumper taketh. Both barriers are open for both teams now, and Yin Kirby trying to make some core control happen. There we go. And Jay dashing in. Unfortunately, the Blobbo did miss the core, so Zyre gets kind of a angle on, but Dave does have energy, and Zyre is brought low. Jay has been really good about these Juno Blobbo snipes. Could make it happen again. And Yin Kirby controlling the midfield while Dave makes the saves happen, and J-Man trying to contest. Jay wins the strike war, but this variant is so nasty. We go off the flip, Zyre is gone, and now power play for Starbreakers, and Yin Kirby with energy here, and the bumpers can be quite kooky here, and then great angle coming in, bouncing it off. Jay does not miss these.
Good angle from Yin Kirby to set up for Jay there, not knowing that he didn't have that open shot for the bottom and opting instead for a dribble of the teammate who did have that open shot. And the Aragoli really a pick that can walk forward. We saw getting punished there by the bounce house with its volatility. I don't think the pick is really showing its struggles yet. That's just some bounce house gimmicking stuff. But really, we're seeing Pensando on this midfield line. I think that's what's worth pointing out right now. Whenever he can, he's walking up there and he's staying there. So as long as his teammates are alive, which Starbreakers are drafting to stop from happening, then he gets a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's Juno has been masterful this game, making sure that power plays are happening on the side of Starbreakers, taking Zyre out like there with combination with Dave, with the Blobos. And, unfortunate slip through with the big finish even there. 2-0 set lead now for Flying Blobos.
Well, yeah, Zyre finding a Strike War win through Affinity ult and Affinity with Strike available. That was kind of heroic all of a sudden. Closing out the set completely too, J-Man finding first pick here. There is a spark worth considering. It's on pace for 3 sparks on Finny if they do find it later set. So at some point they might want to deny it. However, Juno does have a hot shot and 1-2 punch available to her. You can't deny both with just one Kai. He opts for the stacks and stacks instead. A 1-2 punch on Drakkar is very strong too for that kill pressure. This is a really good draft for Flying Blobos. If they can start snowballing and finding these kills, or Starbreakers, if they can start snowballing and finding these kills, they will find a lot of value in this game. It's not as snowbally as it seems. This could be a very important draft for them.
Yeah, the hot shot Juno coming in might be clutch, especially because Jay has been playing so well. And now it's on the side streets variation, and Zyre fails to find a kill, but the Zyre finds a kill, but Yinkirby fails to find a kill on Zyre, and the trades aren't happening the way Starbreakers want it. And now with the barrage push, Dave finds a save in the very, very edge of the goal. I mean, wonderful play from the Finny, and Jay's Blobo really controlling the area here as Pensando has to move all the way up past midfield to keep the offense going for his team. I mean, this era super fast, has energy now, can walk up all the way into side street variant, and Zyre has dash punch again. He might be looking for a kill, and Jay, cognizant of it, preemptively evades as she finds a safe way off of these side streets, and this era NATO making it so dangerous for Starbreakers to position. Yinkirby almost taken off the field, but survives. Dave pushes it through 2 people, and Yinkirby finding the offense now. Does he have the shotgun locked and loaded? Nope. The core finds its way past Yinkirby, unfortunately, this time with the Finny secondary coming in, and the core bounce on the side street. I mean, it is creating some crazy opportunities for both teams. Jay jumping over Zyre's dash punch, making sure Starbreakers can continue their offense as a 3-person team here. And J-Man with the energy, with the speedy Kai, he's just building up stacks on stacks right now. And Dave has energy, but J-Man can push it through with the core flip, and Dave unable to react. The core goes in.
One thing really worth considering in this game, especially after this draft, is Zyre got that adrenaline rush. So every single dash punch that he connects could be completely fatal for Starbreakers. They're playing on almost a knife's edge. If they die to a dash punch, the point is very, very hard for them to win all of a sudden. The air NATO suddenly clips out, and Dave is looking really worse for wear. Gets flipped out of the game, and the adrenaline rush is going to close out that point almost immediately. Dave does not quite find that orb, and now they're 1 point away from losing the series.
Flying Blob is super close to being 2-3 in NASA Week 5. This could be their series point here as Zyre dash punching in eagerly. J-Man pushing through with the barrage, and the second barrier found, and oh, what an unfortunate way to end it!
Not like that.
Not like that, but that is indeed the way the points go sometimes. And second map player on Test Chamber, Flying Blobos take that point 2-0 over Starbreakers.
Very impressive showing from Flying Blobos, honestly. Weathering that damage in the second game there, honestly, Starbreakers did have quite a bit of damage presence. They were dealing a lot, and a lot of the time, some of the forwards were staggered for this Flying Blobos, but they were able to, even despite that, find those opportunities and make it count, get the barriers, get the goals, and because of that, they were able to find another 9-1 game. Very convincing, only dropping 2 goals the entire series.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to give a shout out to Dave and Jay as well, really holding some of those seemingly impossible moments. Just like when the core is right on the goal line, Dave clearing, Jay helping to clear as well. But yeah, unfortunately, the midfield, it's really hard when both teammates are stuck in the goal arc. It's really hard to make the midfield control happen. And Sando and J-Man are just really making sure that Zyre can find the kills he needs and the goals he needs. Like, it was only 4 KOs, right, from the Julie, but every single one of those KOs felt potent and led to something valuable for Flying Blobos. So, great games.
Great games, absolutely.